I've always been chasing brand love, then brand presence. Brand love is something I'm lucky enough to see that we've achieved with Hachi, and we hope to continue to see this brand love going forward too. I had probably lost myself somewhere. Why I do it is, I think, because it makes me feel alive every day. I started my journey in finance like a very enthu kid, very excited, lots of ideas, huge confidence. But sometimes, corporates do this to you. 10 years have gone by, and I think my confidence and my creativity had really lost somewhere. Sometimes as a business owner, you can get very attached to what you do. And that's wrong, I think. I think you have to look at things from a very macro level and see what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
I saw that, this is something that's doing well. People want this. I think it took me just about 3-4 months more to realize that it's time to pivot. I think I took the call at the right time.
Welcome, guys. So today on this episode of FitCru Show, where we dive into the inspirational stories of individuals who turn their passions into realities with their professions or their careers or their sport or whatever that they can do. Our guest today is none other than Dheep, the founder of Hachi. Well, it's a snacking venture that's reshaping the way that we think about snacks. I'm somebody who doesn't believe so much in snacking, but then as I learned about certain products that are good for you, even I started incorporating them into my meals. With a profound belief with health and taste going hand in hand, Dheep has introduced a range of snacks that are not only nutritious, but also delicious. Deep's journey is also kind of fascinating because she's worn different hats, she's done different things. She comes from a background where she's worked heavy duty into finance, like coming from the finance industry, then moving on to focusing on her health and fitness. And she started actually lacing up and taking on the mammoth task of a marathon runner. And she's done God knows how many 10Ks, 20Ks, maybe even some 40Ks marathon. But her experience as a marathon runner has actually taught her significant insights of entrepreneurship. It has taught her that one doesn't need to run fast, but one needs to run the long distance. A quality that she has seamlessly woven into the fabric of her business, Hachi. Well, with Deep's leadership, Hachi has not just been a company that's creating conscious food. It's actually a brand that believes that every product that they make can actually be healthy and have a decent shelf life. Each product is crafted with care. And trust me, when I saw the packaging, I was blown away. So Dheep joins us today to share her insights in her entire journey, the struggles that she's faced, the way she's brought this entire brand up, and the challenges that have helped her become a better entrepreneur, person, call it whatever you want, or even a better marathon runner. So let's dive deeper into Deep's journey.
Welcome, Deep, to the FitCru Show. And can you tell all our viewers, listeners on different platforms, what is it that you do and why do you do it?
So basically, I run a snacking brand called Hachi. It's something that I started out of my passion.
Okay.
To give you a brief, I have 10 plus years of experience in finance. Food was remotely something that I wasn't thinking about. So the journey from finance to food is something which is, I think, really long, like a probably 42-kilometer marathon. Why I do it is, I think, because it makes me feel alive every day. Something that was lacking when I was working. I started my journey in finance like a very enthu kid, very excited, lots of ideas, huge confidence. But sometimes, corporates do this to you. With time passing by, 10 years had gone by, and I think my confidence and my creativity had really lost somewhere. I had probably lost myself somewhere. So I think I was lucky enough to realize it in time and courageous enough to take that bold step that this is it. Now I want to step out, do something that I love. Did I know what I wanted to do? No. Did I know what I was good at? No. Did I know what my passion was? No. I think that's the journey I kind of took when I left my job without a plan.
So there was a period in your life where you took that leap without knowing where you are jumping.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. So anxiety, depression, ऐसा कुछ हुआ वो time?
No. Thankfully, no. I think from from my early days, from my teenage days, I've always resorted to the good things when I'm down. I've had phases where there have been ups and downs in my life, but I've always resorted to things that uplift me. It takes time, but during this period, I think when I was going through a very bad phase, I didn't feel like going to work. I didn't feel like I was creating an impact. I didn't want to see my colleagues. Everything was fine. The perks were great, the salary was great, the comfort was great. Anything that you would ask for, for a person in a job was there. All the checklists were done, but the satisfaction wasn't there. And during this phase, I resorted to reading some books, trying to deep dive into who I am, what I want. And somewhere during this period, running came into my life, and I started training a little by little for a 21-kilometer marathon.
Okay.
I could not run 100 meters at this point. What we're talking about, this is back in 2016, but I just started training for it slowly and gradually, and I think this is something that kind of kept me going and made me find myself, go deeper into me, and made me much more confident, something that I had lost during my working life.
I completely resonate with that. I mean, my journey is similar, right? I mean, like I just told you, start off as a mechanical engineer and then slowly found stumbled into fitness, or I would say I just kind of somersaulted into it rather. And there is nothing more fulfilling than what I do. In fact, there was a big void that was there when I was doing other things, and it was very rewarding financially, no doubt about it. But still, it didn't seem complete. And I understand your I don't know what word would be apt, but that period was very traumatic when you realize that you've invested so much time into your profession, but it's not giving you what.
And that's not something that I want to do.
Yeah.
10 years in, I think my family was shocked when I told them that I want to quit. They were like, have you lost your mind? You have such a great job. Everything is great. Why do you want to quit? And quit and do what? And I said, I don't know. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do something for sure. And they were like, why? Just go back to your job. Have you put down your papers already? And I was like, yeah, no, just go back to your job. And my mother actually said this to me almost till 1 year.
Achha.
After I quit, she was like, they'll still take you. Go back. I said, they will take me. I don't want to go.
So, what is the time span between Hachi being born and you leaving your job?
1.5 years.
1.5 years.
Yeah.
So, you took a year and a half just to understand what is your ikigai.
Correct.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how did snacking form its way into your ikigai subset?
So I think 3 years before quitting my job, I knew that this is something that I don't want to do. But it's very difficult to quit a job which is so rewarding. So finally, I think in 2018, I gathered the courage to put down my papers without a plan. And I just took off. All this while I was trying to find out what my passion is. I made a list. Okay, this is funny. I literally made a list of SWOT analysis.
That's your finance corporate person.
I seriously, on an Excel
solution.
sheet, I wrote down everything: strength, opportunities, weaknesses, everything. I made a list, and I couldn't find anything. So I think I spent a lot of time. I stopped running behind passion. There's this book that I was reading at that time. This was given to me by my then chairman. And while I was reading it, I just realized that I have to be one with the moment. I
What
can't
book
be
is it?
here, one with the moment.
Okay.
I can't be here wanting to be there. And this was a long journey. So I think slowly and steadily, I started accepting myself. Otherwise, there was a constant struggle. I would criticize myself on why don't I know what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? Am I good for anything? Things like that. So you do a lot of self-criticism, and I think that comes more with girls. So I think after that, slowly when I surrendered, I would read my books. I would go to this Bandra Starbucks and I would spend, I think, 5 to 6 hours there just observing how they talk to people, what kind of people come in, how they interact, everything about, Bandra Starbucks. I would just sit there with my laptop, observe and like make lists. So somewhere around this time, I think Hachi found me.
Okay.
I think when I surrendered, inspiration came to me. And I thought about it and I was like, all this while I was running behind. What do I want to do? Where do I want to be? Looking at my friends on what they are doing, where have they reached, etc., comparing and thinking about should I be doing that? Should I be doing this? I mean, that's just content which is unnecessary. So
Distractions.
they are distractions, and to be honest, today there are quite a few. So, so yeah, then Hachi found me, and then slowly, bit by bit, I started with being from finance. Excel was my best friend, so I just started writing down a plan for Hachi on my Excel sheet.
No, but like how snack like
Oh, snacking.
yeah, but like it's a very very like there is this other competing brand, right? Snackable. I'm not going to compete your brand to Snackable. 'Cause I don't think it's fair to compete any brand with any brand. I think that's completely wrong. But there is Snackable, and I was talking to that founder also recently, and I was like, yeah, how did you define? You're doing food, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Because food is generic, but snacking is like, okay, you're catering to somebody at a 4 p.m. slot
Yes.
or a 5 p.m. slot, or you're catering to somebody at a 11 a.m. slot. And that is like me being into nutrition, I know that is a pain point for a lot of people, whether they are CEO, CXO, actors, athletes, everybody's hungry over there at that time, but they don't know what to eat, and usually a bhel or a sandwich or that something like that is an option. But how did you identify that, okay, you want to cater to this problem, or this is even a problem?
Right. So while I was working, I didn't have the time, like you rightly pointed out. I didn't have the time to make breakfast for me or anything. I had, I think, just gotten married when I started this new job of mine, my last job. And I would be so busy doing things for everybody in the house that I would skip it for myself. I would reach office, I would call up my reception and I would tell them, just order an uttapa for me, order a sandwich for me, just order something for me. And this is how I consumed food, my breakfast at like 9 or 10 whenever I reached office. So I always knew that, this is what I'm doing is not right, but I did not know the solution for it. When I quit my job, in that 1.5 year period, while I was all by myself, I think that time is when I started a QSR. So granola had not even started back then. So I started with a QSR concept.
Where was this?
Which is as a cloud kitchen.
Okay.
So this was in Matunga. We had a space which I converted into a cloud kitchen just pre-COVID.
What was it called back then?
It was called Hachi. So we had done the branding. We had done the branding and everything. We'd done it from this guy in Brazil. And the branding was all in place. The logos, the packaging, all of that was in place before we started the brand. And I often have this thing to say we is, back then it was just me. Today there's a team, but back then it was just me. So I always have this thing of using the term we. So so there was a QSR concept. We were doing sandwiches and shakes. We did a lot of pop-up events. We tried to validate our idea, tried to see how this is going to work. Are people liking it? And they were healthy sandwiches, right? So hummus with hummus or pesto, etc., with extra virgin olive oil, no pomace olive oil. That's another thing that I think a lot of people don't understand.
They don't know only about it.
They don't know what is a pomace olive oil, extra light olive oil.
Since we're on the topic, can you like tell our viewers so that we can use this also as a piece of content and we can spread more awareness about it?
So extra virgin olive oil is the purest form of olive oil, and the pomace olive oil is after extra virgin. I think it undergoes a few processes, and whatever is remaining in the end, basically all the kachra which is remaining in the end, that is what is used to make pomace olive oil.
Correct. And when most of the QSR, or not just QSR, most
Yeah.
of the kitchens also across the city or any industry. It's a typical industry practice. That is what these restaurants use when they say that our food is cooked in olive oil.
Yeah.
That's the oil that they use. So that's why I tell most of my clients that instead of doing that, just consume food in ghee.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
way better
Yeah.
than consume, and it's higher in omega-6, omega-3s. You'll get better fat.
Right.
You don't like just because somebody's tagging that, okay, this is what you're getting,
Olive oil.
it's not what you're
Yeah.
getting.
In fact, on that note, there is mayo as well. You know, there are I think 3 or 4 kinds of mayo. Because when I did this, when I was running the cloud kitchen, I would connect with these vendors myself and they would give me 4 mayo. And I'd be like, what is the difference in this? And they'd say the fat content. Do you want it for your restaurant or do you want it for your personal consumption? I would say it's for a restaurant. So like, okay, then for the restaurant, this is the bulk pack. And I said, what is the fat content in this? It's like, it's the highest fat content. So there's a different pack that comes, you know, when you go. And you
Ketchup as
see-
well.
Ketchup as well, yeah. And you see the raste pe, you know, when you see people making sandwiches, they will have a pouch of, like a 1 kg pouch of mayo. That's the highest fat content that you're consuming.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so coming back to Hachi.
Yeah, so then the cloud kitchen concept started. I realized in I think 6 to 7 months that there's insane amount of inventory that's going out. That's actually getting wasted.
Okay.
I had hired a chef full time. So inventory is getting wasted, orders are less, people are liking it, but then on Swiggy and Zomato, you got to pump in a lot of money to basically get your restaurant on top. And during this period, what I was doing was I would make granola and I would give out these small sample packs along with a handwritten note with the orders on Swiggy and Zomato that, hey, this is something from our pre-launch. We hope you like it. Just something sweet that you can consume after your meal. We hope you like it. Give us your feedback. And what I realized was that people are placing orders for the granola more than the rolls. And I think it took me just about 3-4 months more to realize that it's time to pivot. Sometimes as a business owner, you can get very attached to what you do. And that's wrong, I think. I think you have to look at things from a very macro level and see what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
I wasn't attached to anything.
QSR
Like
only.
this is my baby. Like how can I completely shut this business down? I saw that, you know, this is something that's doing well. People want this and not this. So I think I took the call at the right time. I shut this part down and I continued with the granola.
Okay.
Our initial packaging also was just a logo cut out in a round, stuck onto a bottle with the name of the granola, which was decided just like that. We just decided, okay, you know, so I had created 3 flavors. Back by then. And because now we wanted to launch it, I was like, okay, what do I call it? Okay, there's almonds in it, there's rose in it. Bam, rose almond. Yeah. Then the next flavor, that was orange hazelnut and dark chocolate. The actual granola was an orange hazelnut granola, but then I was like, okay, what name do we give it? So we kept the names also very true to what's there in the product. There was nothing fancy, like you see in a restaurant menu. I don't know some of the terms also.
Gourmet names.
Gourmet
which we
names,
can't even
yeah.
pronounce. You have to keep your
You've
mouth
got
shut.
to keep reading
Yeah.
what's there in it, and then you're like corn on the cob. I think I had corn on the cob in a restaurant long back, and I thought, okay, this looks something interesting. Let's have it. I ordered it, and there was a butta, boiled butta that came in a bowl. And I was like, okay, this is corn on the cob. I had no idea. This was like I was probably in college back then. So yeah, coming back, the third granola that I had created was a double chocolate granola, classic flavor, and just plan to call it double chocolate. Like whatever is there in it is going to be there outside. Whatever ingredients are there in it. There's also in any of our granola, there's no preservatives, there's no additives. I am not from a food tech background.
Clearly finance. So
Yes, so I'm not from a food tech background. I haven't worked with a food technologist. So I was very clear that nothing in the granola, nothing in anything that we do is going to be what I cannot consume or I don't want to consume myself.
Okay.
So I think during 2018, during my nutrition journey also, I had come across this ingredient called virgin cold pressed coconut oil. And when I was making the granola and the cakes, both in fact, we have cakes also as a separate vertical.
Okay.
I used virgin cold pressed coconut oil as an ingredient in those, and we still continue to use it. It's
Okay.
the same brand that would come at my house at that time. It's the same brand that we are using today.
Okay.
So, that's something that I've been very clear on, that no nasties, no jazz, no product that I would not want to put into my body. I'm not going to serve it to you.
Yeah.
So,
So you have the ethos in place, and that's fabulous. So I think when you have that in place, so automatically everything starts falling
yeah.
one by one, one by one, one by one. Yeah, that's fab. So, but how was the journey like in establishing not only the products, but for you as an individual, like when you were discovering all of this, how was that for you?
Um, it was a lot of struggle.
Yeah, because there's one
Never.
business that is kind of shutting, right?
Yeah,
You identify that you need to shut this.
Yeah.
You need to start something new. Capital is going to get exhausted over here. You need to pump in more money over here.
Yeah.
Would it fly off? So I'll tell you about FitCru, right? Again, like I'll give you examples of, because our journey sounds so similar
Yeah.
at times. Like I told you, FitCru, when we started this, it was just about sending workouts. The diets were complementary,
Right.
right? Because I knew diets were my strong point, so I cannot go wrong with that. तो ये मैं आपको complimentary workout तो मैं आपका change करते रहूँगा. मैं समझूंगा आपको, मैं आपको workout देते रहूँगा. And then people started telling us that your diets are very easy to follow, bro.
Yeah.
वर्कआउट तो हम लोग कर लेते हैं, हमारे पास ट्रेनर वेनर है, बट तेरा डाइट बहुत अच्छा है, इजी है, और उसमें रिजल्ट आ रहा है. सो लाइक देन यार somebody had told me if you're good at something, do it for free. So like screw the fucking workouts, we'll do diets. And that's how we pivoted into diets, and now we're just like a nutrition, like nutrition is our base, then everything else is like okay.
But that's great, right? You realized it. You were not attached to what you were doing.
I was attached.
You were attached.
I was very attached. I was very attached, and I was contemplating if I should start a different brand for this. Like I was like, ये FitCru है, fitness fit, workout. That's what it sits into. But then I don't know. I just started seeing more sales happen in that, and I was like, यार पैसा जहाँ से आ रहा है, money is what wherever, like follow the money, right? If this is what the audience is resonating or connecting with the brand, then that is what is most likely going to shape the company as.
Exactly. Listening to your customers, listening to your clients. If that's what they want, why not?
Yeah, so then that's what happened, and then now we are decent. So yeah, so you tell me about that entire aspect of transition, that pivot
from
QSR to now Hachi, what it is.
See, back then, no, I think when you start a business, you're pretty much, it's a very lonely journey. So you're all by yourself. As compared to when you're working, you can go up to your managers. You can ask them if there's a problem on how to solve this, etc. But in business, you probably can't go up to anybody. I mean, I did try approach a lot of people online through Instagram to help me out with the certain things that I was struggling with.
Did anyone help?
Less than 1%. Less than 1%, trust me. So people are not willing to help each other out. But I think I've been lucky to find a few set of people who helped me out back then on the things that I was struggling. Thankful to those who didn't, because since they did not help me out, I figured it out on my own.
Yeah.
So I think one such thing was to have a good shelf life of our granola without having to add any preservatives. Correct? So I spoke to lots of guys, I spoke to consultants, I spoke to other bakers, etc. on how can we do this. And none of them would give me an answer other than to add some XYZ chemicals to it. And that, like we discussed, I was clear, I'm not going to add that. So I did a few trial and error and figured it out on my own on how can we kind of have a good shelf life. It's okay to not give a 12-month shelf life, but let the product be fresh. So we are currently at an 8-month shelf life We have a
Okay.
go ahead for 12 because laboratories are not going to see the taste and texture more than the taste and texture, you know.
Okay.
So when we did the lab tests, we told very specifically to those guys that whatever samples you're taking, you take double of those. But you give me one batch after you finished a 3 month, a 6 month, and a 9 month shelf life. Because what you're going to be doing is going to be at a smell, a texture, or this, this and that level. But customers don't understand that.
Yeah.
For them, what matters is how does this product taste? If it's there in my house for like 5 months or 6 months, does it taste as good? So they only understand taste. It does not matter to them that, okay, the product has a great shelf life, but it's become a little soggy. That's not done.
Yeah, plus it's granola, right? So like I'm assuming if you're storing granola, it's going to go on for X amount of time.
Yeah.
You're going to be consuming it almost like on a daily basis. So you are expecting the same taste. And if that changes without any preservatives, which
Right.
was like how
Yeah.
you're not adding any preservative or
Yeah.
anything to increase the shelf life, then there is a good chance that the taste will be compromised.
Right.
And the flavors that you have, like very natural organic flavors like orange and chocolate and rose and almond. So there is a good chance, I would think, that the flavors would get compromised. So
Flavors, and sometimes, flavor, in addition
even
to
the texture,
flavor,
like it'll
yeah.
get soft.
Yeah.
Like how will you
So-
manage the crunch that you expect in a granola? Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, then I didn't get any help from anywhere. Like I would spend a huge amount of time just reaching out to people, India and abroad, everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's Instagram. We're in the,
Yeah.
era where we're just one click away, whoever we want to reach out to. So yeah, I spoke to a few chefs from Bangalore. I spoke to a few chefs from some other restaurants around. I would just randomly make a call and, hey, I need this help. Can you help me out understand this part? Even when I was running the QSR, I had a lot of chefs who helped me out with.
But I
this.
think some founders can DMs check करने चाहिए because when they're starting off, उनके DMs check.
Yeah.
The people that we reach out to, like, yeah, I've done that.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
I've reached out to so many people, like, hey, I would wish to collaborate. I would wish to learn this, that, and the other. Like, some of them haven't even read it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I deliver view because it goes into the request section and all
Yes.
that. So you can't hold it against anybody.
Right.
But now recently I've started getting people who ask me for advice. So I'm definitely like going on my request and trying to answer all those questions because I know when I was struggling and I needed help, like you said, like I'm glad that no one helped me. Like no one helped me.
Yeah.
Apart from my clients who have like been, I've always asked for feedback, sent surveys and all that, so they've always helped me. But I've asked for a lot of help to people who are established and all, and no one responded. Still till date, I still ask others who I
Yeah.
would probably consider as potential mentors.
Yeah.
पहुंचता ही नहीं है मैसेज वहां तक.
I had even reached out to so many people to ask them to mentor me. There was one person I had reached out. Okay, he's, I think, the co-founder of a very large brand. Reached out to him on LinkedIn. Said, hey, I'm just setting up. I'm building Hachi, and I love the way you've built this company, and I would said I'd love to kind of see if you can mentor me or give me like 30 minutes to meet you. And I'll ensure that I keep all my questions ready, if you can spare like 15 or 30 minutes with me. And he just blanket replied to me, unfortunately, time is the only thing I can't spare. Good luck to you with what you're doing.
At least response to
Yeah.
I have been left on red how
Yeah.
many times? You have no idea.
Oh, I've done so many times. Send, unsend. The moment people I see they're online, I'll be like, unsend, send. It's been crazy the amount of time I spent on Instagram back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, but it's cool. So, how did running marathons help you in this?
I think.
And how many marathons have you done?
I would have done more than 20 by now. Easily. Multiple 10 kilometers, I think 8 or 9, maybe 21 kilometers, 242 kilometers, and one Tata Ultra, 50 kilometers at the hills of Lonavala.
Wow.
rolling hills. I think that was also something which kind of really shaped me a lot. because you start your run at 2 in the morning, and I spent almost 6 hours 45 minutes on road. And that journey was amazing. I have some pictures where it's dark. It's just me who's running on the road. There's no one around me because you can't match pace with everybody, right? You run your own race. So
मुझे तो डर लगेगा वो भूत भूत ना आ जाए like
both dogs.
I know, but
Dogs
like,
are a concern.
but 12 baje, I mean, whatever time, if it's dark in Lonavala, like I'm.
No, but it's a proper marathon.
Yeah. I get
So
it.
there are, I think, 500 plus people who are running.
Okay.
They are going to be around you, right? Whoever the 500 contestants, so they are going to be in and around you. It's not like you're going to be all alone. Every 2 kilometers, there are hydration stations and things like that. So
No, I get it. But
Yeah.
so, but when you like, I'm sure when you're doing an endurance sport like that, there might be moments where you're like, why am I doing it?
yeah,
Like, dude, why?
yeah,
Right? I mean, you working out and all that is fine because you know that it releases endorphins after a 45-minute session or whatever. But 6 hours, 1 hour into it, like even I run, right? So, but not that much. I'll run for probably half an hour, 45 minutes. And after my first 20 minutes, I'm like, बस हो गया यार, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So आप 6 घंटा भाग रहे हो, आपको कितने बार लगता होगा वाह मैं क्यों कर रही हूँ? I'm sure like at least while prepping for a marathon, you would ask yourself this so many multiple amount of times,
Yeah.
right? That why am I even trying this? So okay, I've done the first. Why do this? Why do the second one? Oh, I've done 2. Why do the third one? 20. Like I'm sure you've asked yourself that.
yeah,
And
a lot of times.
what's the answer?
See, I think it's very normal to always question when you're struggling, when you're in pain. You do ask yourself, why am I doing it? What am I getting out of it? I think that's really normal. But what you get out of it is something I can't describe in words. It's been life changing for me. When you gym, you build your physical muscle, right? We build muscle too when we work out, etc. Not as much as gymming, of course, but endurance sports helps you build the mental muscle. I think building mental muscle has been very, very, very helpful in my entrepreneurship journey. That's what's kind of made me very perseverant. I don't give up. I don't know how to give up. Because when you're doing endurance sports, when you're running 21 kilometers at a certain pace, or 42 or 50 or whatever pace that you're running, there will be a time where you will want to give up. Your legs will scream. You'll get
Body
some.
will start cramping.
It will. Yeah.
Everything will start burning.
Yeah, there will be a time for
Yeah.
sure. But now there are 2 ways to it. Either you stop there, go back home and rest, or you use your mind to direct what you want your body to do. And I choose the second one. Giving up has never been in my dictionary. But I've learned that how you can use your mind, your visualization skills, even while you are in action, how you can use your mind to stop certain niggles and pains that you're getting in your body. And I have experienced it firsthand. Today morning as well.
Okay.
Today morning, last Sunday, a couple of runs that I have had niggles. I know there are certain areas which pain more or are slightly weaker for me. And they kind of start surfacing when I'm deciding to do a 15-kilometer run or something on a Sunday. But I use these affirmations to tell my body.
While running.
While running, it's meditation. It's not that you're panting. So I don't sprint. I jog. So endurance sports will be slower pace, longer distance.
I get that. I'm probably I've not done it for that length, so I don't understand. But for me, after the first 10-12 minutes, it's like okay, let's play the same song so that we wait till the end of the song. फिर बाद में ये गाना खत्म है, next song, so that you wait till it's one song after the other, and I know for 4-5 songs in, I'm done with my 25-30 minutes, and that's how I look at it. 6 hours is
but for
a long playlist.
But for you, there's something else that gives you more joy.
Yeah.
Gymming maybe gives you more joy. Keeping yourself so fit, which comes to you through gymming. that gives you joy, that keeps you going. I don't think you're gonna skip that for anything. The same thing, that same kind of adrenaline and endorphin release I get from running. For me, running outside in the nature is therapy. And it's a cheaper form of therapy, right? Like today, therapy is so expensive.
So,
So,
यार ट्रॉमा के पीछे इतना पैसा खर्च हो गया ना.
anxiety, depression, and I don't know, so many other bimaris have come up now. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I'll tell you why I asked you this question, because I was talking to a guy who just probably 6 months back he scaled Mount Everest. I was talking to him and I asked him, why did you do it? He's like, and he gave me the exact same answer that you told me. He was like, I cannot describe it to you, but I'll tell you one thing. If you want to do it, I'll come with you and I'll pay for it also. Because whenever you experience it, what you will experience will be exclusive to you and you will not be able to describe it to anybody. But it is something that will come to you internally. You want to do it, and whenever you're ready, you tell me.
Yeah.
And we were sitting with somebody who wants to compete in Ironman, and he was hell bent on it. He was like, "मुझे Ironman करना है." And we were like, "I क्यों करना है Ironman यार? क्या achieve हो जाएगा?" Like, he's like, नहीं मुझे करना है. I was in a country and Nice, and he was witnessing an Ironman competition over there, and he's like, the energy, the way people were competing, I saw it and I was just mesmerized. I was like, I want to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
I don't know how. He's not even an athlete, and he's like, मुझे करना है. And I'm like, क्यों करना है? And he's way far away from basic fitness, and he's prepping for 2025.
So great. And Ironman, I'm sure it's going to be a very transformational journey too. Maybe at some point in time, I would want to do it. Starting with a triathlon, then moving on to, there's something called a half Ironman too. And then there's an Ironman.
Yeah.
So Ironman would be like a very far-fetched dream for me. Because it's
यार आप मैराथन भाग रहे हो, क्या
water
करना है आपको? नहाना बोल रहे हो, स्विमिंग करना है और आपको साइकिलिंग करना है.
So I learned swimming just 2 months. Actually, a year back I learned swimming. But open water swimming is it's another
Phobia.
ball game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's another ball game.
Yeah.
Phobia है वो तो चला जाएगा. There are coaches who, there's Juhu Beach and Gateway where people train. That will go, but I've kept it for the future someday.
If you want, I have a brilliant coach for it, so I can put you in touch with him.
For sure.
But yeah, I think these are mental challenges that we overcome, which allow us to overcome other struggles in life, and then the other struggles that we face in life just seem so minuscule and so petty.
Yeah,
that-
it's our perspective,
Yeah.
and how we look at these problems. The problems are the same today or 4 years back, even when you started your FitCru journey. The struggles probably are the same. The intensity is the same, but your perspective towards it reduces the intensity today because you're more prepared for it.
Yeah.
You've built the mental muscle to tackle these.
So I'm sure, like in your journey also now, present day, what are the struggles, or what are the challenges, or what are the problems that you're facing with Hachi, or in terms of competition, in terms of pricing, in terms of customer retention?
Pricing, we're not facing a struggle right now, but yeah, back then when I started off, people would question us on the pricing. Why is it so expensive?
I'm sure because you've not
People
used
would
preservatives.
compare for Kellogg's. People would compare with Kellogg's, and it was such a challenge for us to say that, listen, Kellogg's is different, we are different, we are 40 to 50% nuts, that's 5 or 10% nuts and sugar, and we just use jaggery. It was very difficult for us to convince people before. Today, that's not a struggle. Like I was talking to you about the intensity, I don't see anything as a major obstacle today. There are challenges that come in on a day-to-day basis. I don't think there's been a single day, like we were talking in the start, there's not been a single day without a challenge. That is ongoing, but my approach to them has changed.
Okay.
So now the intensity doesn't look too big. When it comes to competition, I've never been worried about competition. There are a lot of players in this industry, right? In this category, lots of players.
Are there, like,
Yeah, there are quite a few players in this industry.
with your ethos, with your
So those are the points where we differentiate.
Your USP, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So USP ethos.
हाँ, but end customer को तो granola ही
क्या
देखना
फर्क
है.
पड़ता है? Yeah.
उसको थोड़ी फर्क पड़ रहा है कि
For them,
बहुत
granola-
छोटा सबसेट है जिनको less preservatives से फर्क पड़ता है. Yes,
Yeah.
people are a little more aware now, but if I was to just put reduced preservatives and no preservatives, if I had to compare between that, but the pricing for reduced preservatives was lower,
Yeah.
then I would go for that because मेरा 100 रुपए बच रहा है, मेरा 50 रुपए बच रहा है. So that's how the customer mindset is, unfortunately. That saving in that, trying to save that 50 rupees, they don't understand the 10,000, 20,000 that they would spend in a doctor's bill or whatever. But yeah, anyways, that's how people think and that's how people perceive health as. But yeah, please.
So pricing used to be a struggle before. Today, thankfully, we've developed a good brand love. I would say that I've always been chasing brand love than brand presence.
Okay.
So brand love is something I'm lucky enough to see that we've achieved with Hachi, and we hope to continue to see this brand love going forward too.
That's why you got into cakes, I guess. You
So
started
cakes
also.
were there,
Okay.
but they are like a lower shelf life, right? So they are mostly for occasions and things like that. But
Okay.
again, they also are done with the same ethos in mind. There's going to be an almond flour. We're going to make our own almond flour. We don't buy a ready-made almond flour.
Okay.
It's going to be with jaggery. It is going to be with virgin cold-pressed coconut oil, dark chocolate, etc. We will use ghee instead of butter if we have to. But no sugar, no maida, no jawar as well. But yeah, no sugar, no maida, no butter. So all our cakes are without these ingredients.
Fab.
So yeah, I mean, there's something that I believe that we're chasing, which is brand love that I was talking to you about. And I feel strategies, on the go-to-market strategy, this, that, I think they are ample available online for us to see and apply.
Yeah.
Everyone's journey is going to be different. But what I think works for us at the foundation level is to be true to what we do.
In what sense?
Like I said, that if I'm not going to consume it, I'm not going to put something into my body, I'm not going to give it to you.
Okay.
So that's one, being true to what we do. The labels, whatever ingredients are there at the back of the label, that's what is there in the product.
Okay.
There's nothing extra. No INS, no nasties, nothing at all. The second thing I think that works for us is having our company core values set from the start.
Okay.
There is a 7 core values. There's a set of 7 core values that we have. It's top-down approach in our company. Anybody and everybody in the company, right from the housekeeping team to me, is supposed to follow that.
Okay.
That's our culture. So building a company culture is non-negotiable. I think that really helps myself as a business owner judge whether this is a good match or not. Otherwise, how do you hire people? You can't just hire people based on CVs. Right?
Yeah.
You need to see that they are a
Culture
good
fit.
match. They are a culture fit. Background checks are very, very, very important. People lie left, right, and center today. So culture fit is really, I think you've gone through some. I think.
Why do you think I'm going for therapy?
But yeah, I think this is something I used to struggle with. Since we are on that note, before I used to take things very personally, and when you asked me, what, how have you transformed, and what Hachi has done to you, I think it's really transformed me as a person in these 4 years. As an entrepreneur, you grow, you evolve very, very, very fast, and I think back then I used to take everything personally. Somebody's lied to me, I would take it personally. I would ensure that I go and confront this person and find out why did you lie. I want to know the answer to why. Right? You get it?
मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया तेरे साथ.
Yeah,
Why
what
did you
have
lie
I
to me?
done?
Yeah.
Why did you lie to me? And sometimes I would, self-blame that did I not give him or her the right space, culture for him to lie to me? And I think over a period of these years, during this whole journey where I've evolved as a person, as a business woman, is something that I've realized that when people behave in a certain way, it's them, it's not you. So all the self blame, self criticism, and all that stuff that I am as a baggage I've taken along with me since so many years, put it away. It's not me. It's you. You're lying to me. That shows your character. And today I don't take it personally. People lie. Today also people lie. And I have seen when we do hiring, I do background checks for everybody. Either I will do it personally or somebody from the team will do it. And I'll reach out straight to the owners. No office call, no landline, nothing. I'll find out the number of the founders and owners, whatever. I'll straight reach out to them and I'll tell them, was this person working with you? How are they? And I'm just gonna ask.
कौन है? हमने तो नहीं सुना.
Even this case has happened with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, today it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think for me it's a very easy filter that if we interview 20 people and if certain number of people have lied, it's an easy like let them go, like focus on the others. Now you have very few people, now you just have 10 people or 15 people.
Correct.
So yeah, now it doesn't impact so much.
Nice. But so how's the journey been? Like what's your team strength right now?
We are 15 people.
Wow. And where all is Hachi available?
So we are there in some retail stores in Bombay.
Okay.
We are, I think, in about 80 stores now. We're there in some stores in Gujarat,
Okay.
including Surat, Jamnagar, and Vapi. Some stores in Hyderabad. I think a couple in Chennai, and some in Bangalore. So other than this, we're there on Amazon and Flipkart both.
Okay.
A couple of other e-commerce platforms, and people order in from our websites too. So a direct to consumer website. Some of them are able to find us on Instagram and DM us, and we are there everywhere. We have touch points everywhere. In fact, we love when people call us directly because that's what helps us know our customer better. And we have a team who's set up only to
Collect
speak
feedback.
to them, listen to them, take feedback. And we have this sheet where we put in every single feedback into the sheet and we review it on a monthly basis.
Okay.
In fact, our mocha hazelnut granola started because one of our clients had just given us her suggestion that she was craving something coffee, and she said that why don't you try creating something with coffee? And within a month, I launched the mocha granola, mocha hazelnut.
Sahi hai. So, but what is your vision now with Hachi? Like you've come from 0 to 1 or 0 to 10. I'm sure you want to go from 10 to 100. Or
I would still say it's 1, and I think there's
as a founder,
very,
you will
very
always like undervalue your brand. That's why I said that 0 to 1 or 0 to 10 and 1 to 100. So obviously you've come to a place where you are at 10% of where you would want to be. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
What is 100%? Which will again later on become a 10% and then there'll be a bigger goal. But what is your 100% now?
I think the goal with Hachi is to see people start their day and end their day with Hachi. I want to see that we become a way of life for them. We are somehow a part of their morning breakfast. We are a part of their evening snack. We are a part of their dessert. We want to be a part of everybody's happy moments. Spread joy in whatever way we can.
Okay.
As a brand, from a business perspective, I want Hachi to be much more than just a profitable brand. I always feel that money is a byproduct to hard work and the love with which we do anything. So I want Hachi to be a way of life for people who work with Hachi as well as people who consume Hachi. So I think that would be the goal, and this is on a global level.
Oh, you just took it from
Be had big, hairy, audacious goals.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, but like it's brilliant. I just absolutely freaking love it that somebody in Bombay is thinking of taking granola to a global level, right? It's next, because then what you're looking at, eventually positioning your brand next to a Kellogg's, eventually positioning your brand next to a Baggeries,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. And that's fab, like to have that kind of audacity, like you that is what I really appreciate such founders, because what's the point?
And what's the worst that could happen, right? So might as well dream big.
Yeah, absolutely, you must, nothing like it. So it's any other products that you're dabbling with, like in ideas?
We've been working on something for almost a year now. We will be launching them soon. But there's one thing that we believe in. The reason when we came up with the snacking products and we came up with limited options, just 5 granola flavors, was to remove all the confusion in people's minds when it comes to making food choices on what to buy. So we didn't want to have too many products. You know, the market is cluttered with lots and lots of
Oh, and
options.
so much,
Yeah, so we want to have few, but then they are going to be the best you'll ever see. So even in terms of new categories that we will come up with, we will have very limited options
SKUs
in
really
each
limited,
category.
perfect.
Yeah.
So protein bar,
Uh,
I just jumped the
been
gun.
working on it. Working on it.
That's my area, so that's like,
Yeah.
हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है?
Protein, no, not protein.
No, protein bar, like because like I told you, the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock
Yeah.
problem is, it is there, like it is a big issue. And because people don't end up eating at that 4 5 p.m. time slot, they end up like going crazy. Either they'll have something which
Yeah.
is completely random at a 6 7 o'clock time slot, or they'll go home and they'll be completely famished and they'll have excess amount of food.
Yeah.
So at that point of time, me as a nutrition coach, I do suggest my clients to make a protein bar at home, batch बना के रख दो,
Yeah.
उसमें ग्रानुला डालने बोल देता हूँ कभी कभार, and yeah, so that is something that people definitely require. So it just makes it easier for them to not only hit the protein goal, but also have something that is nutritious, satiating. And the reason why I asked them to make something is because the ones that are readily available in the market are, they're not protein bars, they're candy bars. So yeah, if you're coming up with something like that, and with whatever you said in terms of your company ethos and all, I think it'll fly.
Yeah, I think the shelf life part would be something that would be a big challenge here, which we're working on. Because again, we're clear that we don't want to add anything to it which increases the shelf life to like 6 months, 9 months, like that.
Yeah.
So we're still working on it. We'll see how that goes.
So when you've been doing all this, tell me, like, I wanted to understand how is, like, you're doing quite a bit, right? You are. How has that impacted your personal life?
Well, earlier it did impact a lot. I think there was one entire year that I worked from Monday to Sunday, from 9 to 8, almost 12 hours.
Okay.
But then, so I mean, I can get very hard on myself sometimes.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's been a journey where I had to like pull myself back and say that, is this necessary? Is this increasing your productivity? Take a Sunday off. And then I gave myself the liberty to take the Sunday off and try to balance my life. It still impacts the personal life to a certain extent because I'm a workaholic. Like, I don't realize how time passes. When I'm in office, I don't see whether it's 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. But I'm trying to make a conscious choice where I, at least 3 to 4 days in a week, I shut work early.
Okay.
Early as in by 7:30, and I go home. But other than that, I keep myself sane with all the fitness and all of that. So
yeah, you just said that on Sunday you ran for 3 hours, 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. So, and how often do what all do you do to maintain your sanity? Like, that is most important for all founders, right? That's what some people take up combat sports, some people take up regular sport. Like nowadays, people are playing paddle. I've started playing paddle, and it's a brilliant sport to play because you work so many things at once. It's your endurance, your fitness, your cognitive ability, because you have to make a decision of where you want to place it, because that sport is not about strength, it's not
Yeah.
about pace, it's not about how agile you are. You just have to reach the right place and pass the ball in the right space. You can't hit it too hard because it'll hit the glass. You can't hit it too soft because then it'll not cross the net. So it's like you're playing chess.
So that's a great way to, you got to make very quick decisions.
Yeah,
Right? And I think that somehow will culminate into helping in business as well.
I hope
because
so.
That's also a place where you make quick decisions. You have to a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right? So, coming to your question, how I maintain my sanity, what I do, I train at least 5 days a
Okay.
week, at least. I try to get the 6th day in. One day I take off as a recovery.
Okay.
I train as in I run at least 4 days. I swim 1 to 2 days. And after every run, I work out for about 40 minutes. So weights or, cardio weights. I work out on certain like glutes, etc., squats.
So you're working mainly, your workouts also in a way designed to aid your running.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
वो इंसान ढूंढ ही लेता है अपना passion. So even like, that's why I said, right? I mean, ever since I started playing paddle, my workouts have transitioned into a place where I'm just working those muscles that are going to be like my ankles, because I have to keep running, my knees, my hips. And suddenly I've changed my workout program completely to what it was initially. So yeah, I'm sure. Did you end up going to a coach for it, for your workout
I
program?
used to.
Okay.
So from 2016 onwards, I have been a part of a running group where there are multiple coaches who train us. It's 2 hours in the morning, and that's been really helpful. So all my marathons, 21, 42, 50, I've had a coach who's trained me for it, and I've had more people with me, who run and who decide to do such crazy things together. But at the moment, I'm training alone.
Okay.
The reason I even took this decision to train alone was something to do with business. Like I was saying, that business is a lonely journey, right? You don't have anybody above you to tell you what you're supposed to do. So you've got to take your own decisions, you've got to create your own plans, your own goals, short term, long term, etc. And I often draw parallels between running and business. So I said that I think it's time that I take off on my own in running, train myself out, and then this is eventually going to help me in my business too, where
You build more confidence.
you build more confidence. So confidence is next level. I mean, and I think it's not just running; it's any form of sport. Anything that you do in sports, I think when you see those subtle changes in you, when you see your habits change on a day-to-day basis, that builds confidence, because those are those little successes that you see, on a day-to-day basis, that builds confidence. So sometimes I'd say that when you're not able to get confident in any other area of your life, choose the one which is a little bit easier. Just start that journey, set smaller goals, achieve them, and you'll start feeling confident.
Yeah.
And slowly this will culminate into what you're doing. In fact, all walks of life.
Awesome. Tell me, in your journey, have you had any like experiences with clients that you remember? It could be funny, it could be weird. Since I'm sure like you initially you might be front ending with
for
clients
sure.
also when you pivoted from QSR to granola. Is there any interaction with the client that was memorable?
Lots of them. I've taken so many calls, and I still continue to pick up random calls. I continue to meet people too. I think, the recent one. There's a recent one where there are 3 siblings who came to the office. They wanted to do something for their parents' 50th anniversary. And I asked them that, what is it that they want to do? And they said that, we had got this gift of Hachi products 2 years back from somebody, 2 years back. And then they remembered. they saved the box photo or whatever, and then they remembered it. And they said that one of the siblings had got this gift, and he said that, we were discussing at home what should we give, etc. And I was hell bent that I want to only gift Hachi granola. And he's like, my siblings were arguing, like, why, what is Hachi granola and why do you want to give that? So he's like, chalo, I'll just take you, we'll go there, we'll sit there, we'll try all the products, and you'll know why. And I was like, I mean, wow, 50th anniversary giveaways, and the guy had got a gift from somebody 2 years back.
Yeah.
He still remembers it. It's not like he's following us on Instagram or anything, but he still remembers it. I think that's the power that makes me feel really proud about the fact that
brand love, like
yeah.
exactly what you're going for. So there's some kind of validation what you're doing, right? So, and that's very cathartic. What you are actually trying to achieve, and somebody just walks into your freaking office and tells you that 2 साल पहले मिला था मुझे ये चाहिए.
Exactly.
वो भी parents के लिए. Wow, that's you're doing great, yeah.
I think even just yesterday somebody messaged me that hey, my family tried the brownies and the granola, they loved it. They didn't realize that it was ragi and jaggery in it. It's a chocolate brownie, and they didn't realize it was ragi and jaggery, and they absolutely loved it. The kids in the family loved the granola and all of that. And I'm like, I just love reading, So I have a office WhatsApp which is logged into my laptop, and every now and then every now and then I go there and I just read messages. So yeah.
ऐसा कभी-कभी stalker type feel आता है ना कि सब जगह आँख रख रहे हैं, like you're trying to be this helicopter.
I think that my team will probably say how they feel about it. I'm okay. Like, I think when I stopped thinking about how people think, how they judge, etc.
वो तो आपको बहुत पहले छोड़ना पड़ा होगा, but उसके बाद भी like in terms of, because I don't know, like you have to manage so many things, and you also want to make sure that nobody is left stranded, Like you have a team, you are headed in a certain direction because you have a certain vision, and you also want to make sure that everybody who is working on the team is aligned on that same vision. Not everybody is going to wake up with the same motivation. Not everybody on the team is going to wake up with the same vision. They might get a little astray. So you have to keep engaging with them. You have to make sure that your few top people are working in that, and they are communicating that further down. And that's effort on a daily basis.
That is.
And then you have to do the things that you are in charge of.
Yeah.
So it's very stressful, not stressful, but very like high task.
It's entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's the journey we are on.
बताता नहीं है ना यार ये starting में.
That's true. Nobody tells us what we are going to go through.
Yeah, so. And it's just, like, so as I'm sure, like the reason why I asked you about what's your goal is because you let's say you made from 0 to 1 and you want to go from 1 to 10. The struggles that you face now, till now, are going to be nothing in compared to what the struggles that you're going to face.
Yeah.
Have you raised any rounds?
Funds?
Yeah.
No. Not as
bootstrapped.
of now. Yeah, fully bootstrapped.
Wow, bootstrapped and in 80 stores and
Yes.
Wow.
So I started 4 years back. I started with my savings from my 10 years of work.
No, but still, like, phenomenal. It's a strong leap, and then obviously, like, to have that vision. So, Abhi, I'm sure you would then be raising funds now. No?
Let's see.
Okay, lovely. I mean, yeah. The point is that whatever is your goal, like whether you raise funds, you don't raise funds, you utilize or you stay bootstrapped, the issues that are going to come are going to be far bigger than the issues that you faced. How do you prepare yourself for that?
I think.
Or you just take one day at a time?
No, I plan things. Okay. I plan things very well. But again, I think I'll draw a parallel with running. What I've learned from running is that you focus on what you want, not on what could go wrong, what could be the problems, etc. That does not mean that I'm not going to be prepared. So I will prepare, I will make a list of what are the challenges we could face, etc. But that's not something I'm going to dwell on. That's not something I'm going to waste my sleep on, right?
Risk mitigation, but yeah.
So that's something I think I plan very well. I'll give that to myself, that I really plan for the future very well. And I've learned this one thing, that I'm gonna only have that focus, like a horse. When you're running, there's lots of distractions around. If you focus there, you get distracted, you may trip. So here's the focus. You only see the finish line. You don't see anything else. So that's what it is. So for me, it's just going to be the goal. In fact, even when I quit my job, in addition to my mother, everybody else around me was questioning on, what this girl is up to. She's giving up such a stable career in finance and doing what? Making granola, making cakes and things like that. And they questioned. But for me, like, it never mattered because I could only see the finish line. Okay, the journey is going to be tough. It's all right. We'll take it one day at a time. But I could only see that. So what was happening here didn't matter.
Also, Deep, tell us, since you made this transition from finance to food, and then also snacks or snacking, I don't know how to term it. What would you term it as? Snacking, right?
Snacking industry.
Yeah. The snacking industry, like I'm sure there are a lot of people who are trying to find their calling or their Hachi, right? What advice would you give people like that?
I think I'd just say that believe in yourself and take the plunge. Don't wait for anybody to give you a validation. Don't seek validation from outside, seek it from within. And the first step to that is accepting yourself just the way you are. You may be making mistakes, you might think you're not a great person, you're not good enough, etc., etc., etc.
Imposter syndrome.
Whatever. But just accept yourself. If you think that, accept yourself the way you are. And I think the next step is to believe in yourself. You can't achieve anything if you don't believe in yourself. And I can't stress enough on that, because I've been at a point way back when I didn't believe in myself. Today, there's nothing that can stop me because I have that firm belief in what I can achieve. So believing in yourself is something that I think I would say is you got to start doing now.
You believe in manifestation?
I do.
And because there is a certain, like, you have to be a little crazy.
Yeah.
If you are not crazy enough, then you cannot accomplish things. And you have to be able to see something that you already possess.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you sound like you do that. So
I don't do it on a very regular basis or anything, but I do believe in affirmations. I do believe that self-talk is really important.
absolutely.
Call it manifestation, call it affirmations, whatever, but how you talk to yourself is really important. Am I a person who constantly thinks that, oh, what if this doesn't go right? What if this person does something wrong? Then this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, that you focus on what you want, not what could go wrong, not what you don't want. So I think that's an important thing, to kind of really have that belief in yourself.
Fab.
That's
Perfect.
the starting point.
Killer. So we're going to move to our next section, which is called Struggle and Strength. What I've done is, because we keep our conversations very organic, there could be something that I would miss out on.
Okay.
So I've put some questions on this. It could be something as simple as, what's your go-to book
Okay.
when you have any questions, or what's your support system like, or maybe what's your favorite movie also. I don't know if you've done that. Like in terms of motivation and stuff like that. So I've but I've put the questions of what I would feel would be fun answering.
Okay.
You will ask yourself the question. You will pick the question, you'll ask yourself the question, and you will answer it yourself.
Let's go. How do you stay accountable to your goals and commitments, both to yourself and to others? So I think this is the key step. I have a Excel sheet where I put down my goals.
You have an Excel. She has an Excel sheet for you also.
I have lots of Excel sheets. So I have an Excel sheet where I put down what my goals are. This is actually for myself, for my team, for my fitness, all of it.
Okay.
So, and I track them on a monthly basis on what I set out, how did I do in it. Fitness, I track pretty much on a weekly basis because I set a plan for myself that this is what I want to do in the week. And for my team, I track it again on a weekly basis where we have weekly meetings and we see that what was set out for you, where are we on it, and what are the issues that you faced. So, yeah.
Wow. I wish I had a clone of you in FitCru. Like, dude, that would be next level, है ना? Like, सब अपना काम करते बराबर.
Okay. The questions are long. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced with your family and how have you navigated them? I think I'd say that my family, I was a very protected child. So my family didn't want me to do anything which they felt is out of comfort zone. So it took me a while, quitting my job was out of my comfort zone. I think that's the first thing ever that I've done, which is against, actually, no, I've done lots of things that are against my parents. I've been a rebel kid. So, but that is something that I took a decision and then I informed them later very casually that I've done this. So, how have I navigated it? Well, I give it time. I'm patient on this part. I give it time. My parents themselves see how she's doing, where she started. I'm not a person who would sit and argue and defend because when you take that decision, you don't have anything right now to defend. So I give it time, and I think time answers it. So, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, short question.
You were picking it.
Gosh.
I'm not picking
Do
it.
you have any short questions?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. How do you balance the importance of self improvement and self acceptance in your pursuit of success? How do you balance the importance of self improvement and self acceptance? Okay. So I think how I balance it, I prioritize self acceptance first.
Okay.
There are lots of things that as a person I need to improve upon. I don't think I'm a perfect person. But to be there, I need to accept the way I am today. See what are the areas in my life, in my work that I need to improve upon. Set a plan for it and then accomplish it. There is no chance that if I put out something, I will not accomplish. So that's very important for me. If I commit to something, no matter what, I'm going to do it. Right? It may take more time or less time, but my commitment is very, very strong. So if I say that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it anyway.
Getting goosebumps. You're a fucking powerhouse, bro. Love it. Okay, now since that question did come up,
Yeah.
we'll ask it and then we edit it. More than a Sudhanshu. So, Deep, tell us that how, I'm sure in this entire journey as an entrepreneur, you might have faced multiple moments of like complete, this, I don't know how to, like you're completely done, blown. You have absolutely no motivation to do anything. I have those days too. What do you do on those days? And don't tell me you run. But what do you do? Apart from running. I'm sure you run. I'm sure you run.
Yes.
Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah,
But apart
yeah.
from running, what else do you do?
There are lots of moments of self-doubt. It's reduced today, but there are lots and lots of moments where I'm thinking, what am I doing? Where am I going? I think I've just learned to navigate this through patience.
Okay.
I take some time off. If there's a Sunday in between, great, because I run. So I'll go for a run. I'll shake off some of that energy.
Yeah.
Meditation.
Okay.
I would just kind of close my eyes, count from 100 to 0. That kind of calms my mind down, and sit in peace for a minute, for 2 minutes, for 3 minutes, whatever. I don't want to think anything. I don't want to fight my thoughts. And I think step 3 would be to go for a coffee date alone. I have this really nice place I like going, Taj Mahal Tea House in Bandra. They have a nice corner up there.
It's
I
next
go
to
in that.
Nutcracker.
Yeah,
right?
I go in that corner. I take my Kindle along and I read a book. This coffee date alone is very important for me. So yeah, and self-talk. I think whenever negative thoughts come, I try to convert them into positives.
Through affirmations.
No, not affirmations.
Because I'm
Yeah.
asking this because I'm sure like a lot of people have like the
Yeah.
human brain is wired to focus more on the negative thoughts, right? So how do you manage to switch it? Because you seem like a very headstrong personality. So you've got your shit sorted. How?
When I was talking to you about training the mental muscle, it takes time, but when that mental muscle is built, even if you've had a break,
Yeah.
even if you have faced a problem after very long, it comes up. It helps you big time. So, if there's a pain in the body somewhere where, my quadriceps are screaming, my ankle is hurting, my calves are hurting, and I'm saying it's paining, it's really bad, I'll immediately switch the thought to my calves are feeling amazing. My calf is the strongest part of my body. And you give it time. You give it time, and you will be surprised to see the magic. It will not feel anything. It'll feel stronger. And I'm telling you because I've experienced it. Same thing when it's work. And there's a challenge, and I feel, oh my God, I have to send this presentation in time, and it's all over the place. The person who was supposed to do it hasn't done it in time, and I have tons of other things to look after. All right, one thing at a time. It's super easy. What do we need to do? We need to fix 1, 2, 3 things. That's it. Let's take this. Nobody disturb me for the next 15 minutes. I'm going to put in a timer. Finish it. It's okay to not really do things as per the timer or whatever. But I'll finish it. Then move on to the next task. So, calm and composure is very important when it comes to business, anything. And from fitness, I have learnt about business that when I'm calm and composed while running, I can be calm and composed when I face any challenges in business too.
Yeah.
So, the immediate thing is to find alternative solutions. What do you do now? When I'm running and I'm panting for breath, my water is over and I can't see water till like a kilometer. What do I do? I have to like tell myself that I feel well hydrated. There's no option, right? So everything is fine. I feel well hydrated. I've hydrated myself well yesterday. Blah blah blah. You have to sometimes fool yourself in this way, and it works out. So even in business, if there are some challenges and things go unexpected, what do? You tell yourself the opposite, right? It may not be true at the moment, but it will turn out to be true.
Correct.
So yeah.
Wow. That's a very, very good outlook towards issues, like towards any other issues, whether it's work, personal life, fitness. It makes problems seem smaller, and then automatically you are able to take on bigger challenges.
True.
Great.
And you become more empowered to handle
Yeah.
and tackle those problems, right? You become in a better position to tackle those.
Absolutely.
So problems have not changed. You have changed.
Yeah. It's exactly like working out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the weight does not get lighter when you're lifting the heavy weights. Right?
Yeah.
The weight does not get lighter; you just get stronger. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So superb. I am super excited to try the product. I've been hearing so much about it, and throughout the podcast, I've been waiting for this section because I was like, "Kab khaunga?" Because I'm super hungry. So we've got this killer chia seed pudding recipe, and we're going to add the granola to it. So we've got around 12 grams of protein in this, around 50 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat, and a lot of fiber. So we added like granola, and wow, I love your packaging.
Thank you.
Go for it if you want to add pomegranate to it, or if you want to have it like that.
Yeah.
So we made this recipe, and we'll give the recipe link also in the short description. So we got an alternative for the 4 p.m. Yeah. Again, like another way to have it, we've tried to increase the protein content of this entire dish so that it's not just carbs, not just fat, not just protein, but it's a wholesome, balanced meal, you can say.
And it takes like what, 5 minutes to prepare it?
Not
right?
even. Not even. If you, yeah, I mean, not even. So we're gonna give the recipe out, and yeah, for all our viewers, listeners, please, you can get the Hachi products on Amazon. You said on Swiggy as well.
Not on Swiggy, on Amazon and our website.
On your website, and your website is
Hachiwithlove.com.
lovely. And what's your Insta handle?
It's hachi.with.love.
Lovely. Perfect. So we're going to be putting it in the short description also, and our users should definitely. I too love this product, so uh, I'm one of those who only endorses products that I genuinely love and like. And I like, while you were doing this, I was actually reading the nutritional label and seeing the contents of the label, and it's pretty kick ass what you've done. Good job on formulating a product like this.
Okay.
But yeah, this was great. Thank you so much,
Likewise,
Dheep.
Prateek, was a wonderful conversation, and I think it didn't even feel like anything formal. I think the conversation went really smooth.
I'm just very easy to talk to now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
you
thank you.
mentioned
It was fluid because of you, and you shared such valuable insights, not only about your journey, your professional journey, but also your personal journey, and that was very important. Because, like I said, everybody out there is struggling. Everybody out there is trying to find a way of how to cope up with the different stresses of life, and including myself. Like I told you, the challenges that I'm facing with
Yeah.
work and with my health and fitness. And it's always good to have a conversation with somebody who is also figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
And has figured a lot of stuff out, but is also figuring stuff out. And just letting you know, you are one of the strongest personalities I've come across in life in a specific area. The way you set out goals is phenomenal, and I think you're going to achieve big things, bro. Like you seem like somebody's going to achieve like really big things. So hang on to this one,
for
Jenny.
sure.
Like big package coming your way. Yeah, great. So to all our listeners, viewers, thank you. Please do share this with your friends, colleagues, whoever can benefit from this conversation. If they are struggling with something, if they're starting up, if they're a founder who is transitioning from a job to starting up a business, a new career, definitely helpful for them. And like this, comment on whatever you would want us to speak more on, so it'll help us also give you all more valuable conversations. And thank you so much for your time, and we shall conclude on this. Thank you,
Yes.
Deep, for coming over and spending so much time with us.
Thank you, Prateek.
And for this lovely snack that I'm going to go and binge over. Yeah.
I hope you like it. Thank you so much, Prateek. It was a lovely conversation.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.